Very, very rare that I do this, but the Holy Spirit gave me this download and completely told me to share right now. If the enemy can confuse your identity, he can steal your destiny. He goes from one range to the next in the low-income communities. It's through broken homes. It is through poverty. It is through lack of resources. It is to put mental and physical financial strain, creating single-parented homes, mom or dad, so he can create mentally and physically and spiritually bankrupt children who only know how to survive and struggle, and who are destitute and void of the sense of the love of God, so they cannot turn up to be their best self, and probably more affluent, more of the identity confusion, more who has more money. So you deal with pride, you deal with grifting, you deal with personality disorders, you deal with emotional immaturities where they're handicapped and babied. So they lack the maturity to endure life and more prone and susceptible to suicidal ideations and not be able to mentally, physically make it through life through the lack of grit and tenacity to the adverse that more impoverished communities have by default of survival, but however they don't necessarily ever come out of survival, creating a lifetime of hostility, drug abuse, in endless unbroken cycles and toxicity and none the like. But the source of it is the fathers being absent from the home or not present. Their presence does not mean they're present. So he goes after the head of the family to create a lot of single motherhoods where it leaves the brunt and the stress on one person, and she physically, mentally, and spiritually is not equipped to carry the load. That's why the role was for two. It took two. Whether or not you incubated or did it through a lab, it took two. And that's why it takes two. But when the brunt falls on one person, the enemy seeps in and produces this in our children, so nobody can watch, nobody can share the load, and nobody can bear the burden. And that woman is physically tired and cannot be available, financially strained, cannot be available, cannot have the best resources. So the Lord just wanted me to say at this core end, pray for our youth and pray for our children.